An incredible match today, a brilliant performance for you, your control, your passings and an assist to help Eze to that hat-trick. A very special day.
A very special day indeed, yeah. But it has to be a special day because we're playing Tottenham, and I think you could tell by the crowd, the energy and the noise, and I think also the energy of the guys. It was amazing today, and I think we did it together as one unity, and yeah, still need to breathe a bit, you know, after everything that happened. But enjoy tonight, recover from here, and then Wednesday again, big game.
It's a fairy tale story. A player, and as a release from the academy, calls up Arteta, says, "Is there any chance I can actually move to you?" Of course, he didn't move to Tottenham. But Talis, you found him for the assist in training. Is he the player, one of the players you all look for?
Yeah, I think so. I think everyone knows the amazing qualities he has. As a player, I think he shows it on the pitch today. Was his day. Don't think it's a coincidence. This guy always works hard, and I think everyone loves him. His character is great. He falls into the group perfectly. What I say is, I don't think it's a coincidence. Maybe some people are surprised, but we know what he's capable of, and I'm happy he showed that today for us. The first Arsenal player to score a hat-trick in a North London derby since 1978. Is it? That's amazing. I'm very happy for him. Yeah, that guy showed it today. But he's a quality player. He's a quality person, and I hope many more goals for him to come, and also for us.
It's so big that we've barely mentioned Nketiah coming in for Big Gabby. It shows the experience you all have at the back and what connection you have to not miss him today. But how well did he do too?
I think he was amazing. I think he did great. He won all his duels. The energy he brings into the team. Obviously, it's not easy to replace Gabriel. Everyone knows how important he is for us. And the way he did it today in a game like this, I think incredible.
And a 6-point lead after dropping a point in the last match, and the way the goals were scored. What does this tell us about your potential to win the title? This is a statement, isn't it?
It's still early. I think we're in November. We just got to focus on the next game, and I think that's the mentality. Today was great for the supporters. We know how important this game is. Now we focus on the Champions League, and then again is such a tough game coming up. So game by game, and then from there we'll see where we end up in May.
Get me a smile.
Michael, magical kind of afternoon, really.
Yeah, it's a very special day for us. We knew the importance of the match. We know what it means to our people, to be able to give them that joy on the performance, on the results, the way we played, and the atmosphere that we create at the stadium. It's a beautiful day. And
particularly for Eberechi Eze, obviously, to score a hat-trick. It's only the 4th hat-trick ever in North London derby history.
I know, I just heard. So that tells you about the difficulty and what he's done today. And to be fair, he could have scored 4 or 5, you know. But that's the play that we need to play to, in big games, create those magic moments, those actions that unbalance the team. And I thought his all-around play today was excellent.
It's a huge week ahead, but they have capitalised on others faltering this weekend. And so much of the talk ahead of this North London derby was about those names who weren't there. And was this going to give Spurs an opportunity? Well, there was only one name on everyone's lips at the end of it, Eberechi Eze.
He's a joy to watch. He's a beautiful footballer. But I have to say, the Arsenal team performance was incredible. They were better than Spurs physically, technically, tactically. And the most worrying thing for Spurs was that Arsenal wanted it more. They really did. They wanted it more, which is unacceptable from Spurs' point of view. But getting back to Eze, I mean, his best performance in an Arsenal shirt. He showed all aspects of his game and his play. He's got this wonderful knack of making the game look easy and finding space so effortlessly. Here, he doesn't even see Rice till late. Still manages to find him with that beautiful little flick and creativity. This is why they brought him in, to unlock defences that sit deep and put numbers behind. Talking about the team performance, Timber there. You need runners when you've got a packed defence. Timber was exceptional today. But Zubimendi there, who's the central defensive midfielder, he's ahead of Eze. And every time someone runs past him, he just drops into that little space that's vacated. Great feet on the edge of the box to skip through there and get a little bit of luck with the deflection, but still a good finish. More of the same in the second half. See how he just drops into the space when Wright penetrates. And when he gets the ball, doesn't matter with him right or left foot. It's elegant, it's composed. There's one thing you have to do if you play for Arteta, and that's defend. They carry nobody. And if you don't do it, you don't play. Now they've got the competition for places and squad depth. And look at this for a turn of pace as well. I mean, Kudus is no slouch. And not only does he get back and help his team, probably doesn't want this back from the keeper, actually, but when he gets it, a little bit more composure around the corner. And he was growing all the time. The fans adore him already. When he gets in this position again, just patient, takes his time, picks his spot. He's the type of player now that Arsenal can rely on. He's confident. He's a game changer. He's a wow footballer, that's what I'll call him. I mean, could have had 4 or 5, Arteta's right. And that you can't, whoever you support, you can't help but like him and enjoy his football.
You'd have to own, wouldn't you? And there his stats are speaking for themselves, aren't they? The top English player on that list in terms of goals involvement in 2025. But his story is so inspiring.
Yeah.
Let go by Arsenal at 13 years old and then finding his way through Millwall, QPR, Crystal Palace to come back to the club that he left as a kid and do what he did in a North London derby today is just extraordinary.
Well, it is inspirational, like you say. Resilience, self-belief, just complete single-mindedness and wanting to achieve his goals. To play for your boyhood team and score in a game of that size is something that will live with him forever. And he will not be sleeping tonight, trust me, I've been there. It's an amazing feeling. The great thing about this now for him, he's got the fans on side, that's done. He's going to go into the next few games.
City and Manchester, different. It's as it leaves Van Dijk's head, he's not obstructing Donnarumma's view. As we roll it on, Andy Robertson here, look, he's ducking out the way. Does Donnarumma know that? Could be trying to flick it on, making an obvious action which clearly impacts the ability of an opponent to play the ball. Questionable, of course it is. There's holes in it, but if you want to make a case, that's offside. Murillo at Anfield, as it leaves his foot, and as Alisson's looking at the ball, is his vision impaired? No, it's not. But if we roll it on, at some moment, Ndoye, who's in an offside position, is preventing an opponent from being able to play the ball by clearly obstructing the line of vision. Again, goal given, in my opinion, you'd have an argument to rule that out.
So for you, it would just be more consistent to say anybody who's obscuring the vision of the goalkeeper in an offside position?
I think so. I think that makes it... Well, that's what the rules are, but they've obviously not taken them because 2 of those goals were given. So it makes it very difficult, and we have these continual conversations. But with VAR, the ability as they've got is to slow it down and pause it like I have there, and you can point out why the goal should be ruled out.
And a lot of Spurs fans will probably even concede that actually, had the goal been ruled out, they would have gone 1-0 down instead of 2-0 down at half-time. But they were totally overpowered on every area of the pitch today and would hold their hands up and say that they just didn't have the fight they were looking for in that North London derby.
Well, yeah, the lack of fight, but it's the lack of creativity in the last couple of games, Arsenal and Chelsea at home. You can see here the XG, top 2, lowest in the last 2 games, and obviously they one at the bottom 3 out of the worst 8 this season. Yes, you can hide behind Kulusevski, Maddison, Solanke not being there, but the players they've got in that squad are struggling, really struggling to be brave enough to get on the ball, to make things happen. You could argue only Kudus out of all their front players can hold his head up high a little bit and as say, he's created stuff and had a go. There's a lot of fear in that side, probably too much pragmatism. Thomas Frank is obviously new to it. He's working out who he can trust and who he can rely on. The reality is they've got to pick up soon because the level of performances the last couple of games is causing discontent amongst the fans, for sure.
On the flip side, Arsenal absolutely flying, 6 points clear at the top of the table in a week where they have Bayern Munich in the Champions League, Chelsea at the end of the week in the league, of course. It's a huge week, could be a massively pivotal week for them. Yeah, of course, and obviously with what's gone on yesterday, that was incredible. And City losing, Arsenal getting at home to Tottenham, great performance, momentum's good.
Yeah, it's a game that you're worried about. I mean, for Arsenal to go to play a derby when they're going for trying to go for the league, when Man City lost, when Liverpool lost. I was a little bit worried that Tottenham were going to come and cause us a lot of problems, but fortunately for us, I should say, that didn't happen. Brilliant goal there. Marino dropping off and flicking it in there to Trossard was fantastic.
And then step forward, unfortunately, the man Tottenham were desperate to sign in the summer, Glenn, Eberechi Eze. Yeah, he's a wonderful player, he really is. And you watch that lovely little ball from Rice, but his feet, quick feet here. Look, movement of his feet, and he's just gone for power. And that just sets it up beautiful for Arsenal, because they were a little bit, they had a chance early on, but they hadn't created that much. Suddenly they found themselves 2 up.
Yeah, and this is That's a great goal. He said that was his favourite goal, that one.
39 seconds into the second half.
Beautiful goal, that one. Is on his weaker foot. Super stuff.
And then, this from nowhere.
A one-off from nowhere. I mean, Richarlison wasn't really in the game that much. Paulinho, who wins the ball here, he was somebody that was prepared to put his foot in, and he played quite well actually for Tottenham, probably our best player. But no, great goal from Richarlison.
And then a moment of history, the fourth man ever to score a hat-trick in this game.
Yeah, once it got into that situation again, you got Marino dropping off, and once he drops off, he's so good. Great running from Leandro Trossard off the ball, and then once it went into Eberechi Eze there, you just felt like he's gonna score here. He's unlucky not to get 4, in fact.
Yeah, much more to discuss, but first of all, let's get some reaction from the Arsenal camp, starting with the man of the moment. Righty, I have to interrupt. We have to speak to the man of the moment, Eberechi Eze. Well done, sir. Congratulations. Just tell us how special that feels. Probably here.
Yeah, I can hear it, man. Yeah, it's been a good day, man. It's what we've been working for, and I'm grateful to God for the opportunity to play, to work, to score, to help the team. This is what it's about, and yeah, man, thanking God.
Well, you more than helped the team. I mean, when that third goal goes in, everything you've been to get to Arsenal, to score a hat-trick in the North London derby debut, is it possible to describe that adrenaline, that feeling?
Nah, man. Nah, no words for that, man. Just enjoying the moment, enjoying helping the team, putting in performances, trying my best, working hard. That's what this is about, man, and that's why I'm here.
Ebbs, you know, firstly, congratulations. Like, what's it, since 1978, first person to score a hat-trick in the derby. You've got to say congratulations with everything you've been through, but the way it's been going up to this point, did you even know you was going to definitely start this game?
Nah, you never know with this team. There's so much depth and there's so many options. So you never know what's going to happen. But that's the mentality of everyone in the team. Is when you're called upon, put in the work, do what you can, and show why you're here. And yeah, that's what we did today as a team. And I'm again grateful for the opportunity, grateful to play every single game that I play here, and to score. Yeah, for me, it's a special day.
Nice. No, Gaffer, you want to ask?
No, Ebbs, it's Glenn Hoddle here. You're a beautiful player. You're a lovely player to watch. And at Palace, I loved every time I saw you play. Do you now feel with this hat-trick you're going to actually settle down and play at your very best? Because when you're at the best, you're one of the best in the country. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. That's special words coming from you as well, man, because I enjoyed watching you, the clips that I see of you. I know that you were a special player.
Oh, there's no need to make him feel that old.
They're in black and white, Ebbs.
Ebbs knows. He knows.
No, I know, man. I know a baller, man. So
you know, the thing is, Ebbs, I think what the Gaffer's trying to say is that the way you play and the style you play must have been very tough for you because you've not changed. Anyway, anytime I've seen you play, you've played exactly the same way. So is that the way you used to play when you was 12, 13, 14? Because it must have been tough for scouts to say, I don't like the way he's playing, he's too flash, he's too this. Did you get that energy?
I think it's something that I've maybe tried to do from young, but it's never been effective or like as direct and focused on being effective in games. It was more just about looking good, but now I feel like I'm adding to my game the killer mentality of wanting to decide games. So yeah, for sure it's something that I'm continuing to work on, to build on, and yeah, I hope that this is something that will continue to move me forward to perform and to play how I play, because yeah, playing in a team like this and enjoying it can be special.
Nice.
Well, listen, it's a day you'll never forget, and the Arsenal fans will never forget. You've put a smile on everyone's face who's connected with Arsenal Football Club. Very, very well done. Thanks for joining us.
Nice one, Ebbs. Me and Ketchy been on the phone, bro. We've been laughing on the phone, bro.
Yes, good, as you should be.
Nice.
Top man, thank you very much indeed. And really, that big smile from Eberechi Eze.
Mikel, magical kind of afternoon, really.
Yeah, it's a very special day for us. We knew the importance of the match. We know what it means to our people to be able to give them that joy on the performance, on the results, the way we played, and the atmosphere that we create at the stadium. It's a beautiful day. And
particularly for Eberechi Eze, obviously, to score a hat-trick. It's only the 4th hat-trick ever in North London derby history.
I know, I just heard. So that tells you about the difficulty and what he's done today. And to be fair, he could have scored 4 or 5, you know, but that's the play that we need to play to, in big games, create those magic moments, those actions that unbalance the team. And I thought his all-around play today was excellent.
Yeah, he calls it a beautiful day. It's Arsenal's biggest derby win in 13 years since actually Mikel Arteta was playing for Arsenal, and that really does put the contest into context, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I think that it's the kind of performance. Because again, going into it, you know, with people saying, "Can Arsenal do it? Can they win these games? What they need to win?" There was a lot of pressure, I think, playing again in the North London derby against, like, obviously your biggest rivals, and needing to win at home to try to make sure that you can keep getting those points. And I thought that the way they played, obviously Tottenham didn't turn up. They didn't turn up. But they gave them no chance of getting in that game. And it was a really good performance from a team that looked like they're very, very focused on what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they were hot favourites to win this game, top of the league. After Manchester City lost yesterday, you're feeling, wow, you know, they're going to really up their game. It's an opportunity for them to go 6 clear. So Spurs were going to be up against it, whatever. But Spurs were poor on the day. And in every department of the pitch, Arsenal were better. Defensively, with the ball in midfield, what they created, and the front players, they had a system that worked for them. And yeah, they thoroughly deserved to win, and maybe it might have even been more, actually.
And as I say, the story, the headline of Eberechi Eze, Arsenal fan, released by the club's academy at 13, came back, of course, to join Arsenal, having been wanted by Spurs in this summer and playing in this fixture for the first time. Yeah. What a day, what a story.
It's again, like he said, you know, it's the kind of thing that, like I say, when I signed for Arsenal, you don't dream of scoring a hat-trick in the dark. You just dream of scoring it. You know, to end up getting a hat-trick in it with everything what his story entails, it is fairy tale stuff for him. And, you know, I'm very, very happy for him. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that it can lead to great things for him and Arsenal at the club, to be honest.
I think the type of player he is a wonderful, beautiful player to watch. And he's played like that since he was a kid, really. He hasn't changed, which is great for him. And he's stuck to his guns. But I think that performance, getting that hat-trick now, will elevate him in, won't it? I think he'll go up a few steps, you know, on the wrong, and he'll get more confidence. And we'll see the very, very best of him, how he played at Palace. And it's for a creative player, midfield player, like number 10, it's tough to do that. To go to a team that's top of the league and go to a team that, you know, are looking to win the Premier League, and they've got great players in the team. They've got a strong squad. You know, that's going to put him right up there. And the players now will go, oh, let's just give him the ball. Yeah, this kid's got immense talent, and I think the fans now as well will go, wow, we've got a player on our hands. I've always liked him.
It's a statement story, really, isn't it? To do it on that level, on the debut in the fixture.
Yeah, and like the gaffer said, it's the kind of performance that now it can relax. You know, I remember like when I signed for Arsenal, you don't relax. You know, you play the game, and then you something happens, you score, and you know it kind of relaxes you because you know I'm going to probably get a few more games. Now we know what he's capable of in that kind of atmosphere against a poor Tottenham side today. But like it will give him the kind of confidence that he needs to say, right, I'm properly part of this now. I've done my bit.
First hat-trick in a North London derby since Alan Sunderland back in 1978. You remember that one at all? Or?
I do remember that one.
Why is that?
Because I was playing. You think it was a bad day for me today? It was worse in that day.
Go on, remind everyone of the score.
Don't you put me through it today, don't you? Yeah, we lost 5-0 at home. Yeah.
Wow. At White Hart Lane as well.
Well, we were. I think we'd just come up actually. We just returned to Division 1. We got relegated, went down and come back the straight year. So things we're in transition, I think they used to say.
But that just shows you how hard it is to get the match ball in this fixture.
Honestly, such a tough fixture. Like I say, you don't dream of scoring, actually you dream of just scoring because, you know, it's the kind of game that obviously we've seen those results, but it's you win by the odd goal. You know, that's the thing. It's not normally like someone's scoring like 5 and 6. It's just the odd goal. That's why only 4 players have done that. You know, it's a tough thing to do.
It won't really sink in with him, I don't think, until maybe another year down the line when people will be reminding him how difficult and what he's actually achieved today.
He won't know.
No. But as an Arsenal fan, and as we know, to return to the club in the summer after that rejection at 13 and all that he's gone through to get just back to the club, let alone today's story.
Well, the thing was, it's just the Tottenham deal was literally done. It's done. And I think that, you know, he called and said, is that it then? So are Arsenal totally out of the question? And then Mikel said, and then bam. You know, he's a massive Arsenal fan, but he would have been ready to go to Tottenham if Arsenal didn't come back. And so for it to all happen like it has done, him ending up at Arsenal in the first game against Tottenham, he score a hat-trick. It's probably going to be the greatest day of his life. Hopefully he can have a lot more great days. But in respects of what you're trying to achieve, that's magnificent what he's done today.
It's a hard one for Spurs when you hear how close he was to signing.
Yeah, I mean, I loved him as a player at Palace. I love watching him play. When I heard he was coming to Tottenham and it was nearly done, I thought, wow, this is just what we need. We'd lost Maddison to a long-term injury, who's a creator. And it was really a real sort of kick in the stomach, really, that the fact that we lost him. So, but he's always going to be a good player. I've always loved watching him play, and I think he's got a chance of getting in that England side and staying in. I really do. And we've got so much talent in that position. That's another story. But he's a wonderful player to watch. He really is.
Let's speak to the goalkeeper in your England side, David Seaman. Big smile on his face. Not surprising. One of the fortunate ones to get a ticket and see today's game. What was that like at the end, that atmosphere? I mean, it's the biggest derby win in 13 years, David.
Yeah, no, it was incredible. It was incredible to watch it. It's great to be here. I've never known North London forever be sung that loud and by that many people. So it was a good day for Arsenal.
And what about Eze? I mean, we've just been discussing it. Released by the club at 13, Arsenal fan, to get back to the club. Could have been a Spurs player. Derby debut, hat-trick.
And a good hat-trick as well.
Yeah.
You know. Right, you must appreciate that he doesn't snatch us at the finishes, does he? It's total control.
Yeah. But that's the thing, goalie, when you see him in those positions, and this is why you want him in that 10 position in those little areas where he can actually do his bit of skill or get on the edge of the box, because once he gets it out his feet, he's in such control of these finish goalies. So, you know what I mean? I was always confident. I was very surprised he didn't get the fourth one.
Exactly, but it's just the way that he finishes both feet. It's like a side foot, but it's side foot with pace. You know, even sometimes Vicario, you could see him. He knew where he was going to go, but he still couldn't get anywhere near it.
What kind of statement's that? As I say, biggest derby win in 13 years, while still being the Premier League leaders and everyone asking questions of Arsenal.
And these are big games and the pressure games. You know, no matter where you are, but when you're top of the league, and you've got Man City, you've got Chelsea chasing you. These are big games and they're important, and it's a big statement, you know, that we can cope with that. And with the injuries of like Gabriel and quite a few of the others. But yeah, it's just, the confidence is high, is really high.
And it is. And belief. You know, they believe, don't they? And today will just inject even further belief.
Yeah, you know, and you want that belief to continue and get even better, but there's more pressure times coming. You know, we're not even a third way through the season yet, you know, so there's going to be some pressure times. The club have been there, the player have been there before, you know, and it's whether they can handle it later on in the season, and we'll get to it.
Well, that's what I was going to say to you, goalie, about the signs. The signs are good. When you look at some of the games that we lost last season, whether it was Fulham or Newcastle or West Ham, and then this season you're winning all of those games, and then you get into a situation like this weekend where City lose, Liverpool are floundering, and then you still win against in the derby. You know, I mean, your toughest game you're going to have, regardless of where you are in the league.
Yeah, I totally agree. You know, and it's a statement. Don't forget, like last week when they played Sunderland away. You know, that was a tough game. You know, but they reacted in a great way, and then obviously the international break, and I bet they couldn't wait for this game. But you know, to put a performance in like that is just class.
Brilliant to see you, David, as always. Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers, guys.
David and all the Arsenal fans smiling. It certainly was extremely painful. He's apologised for the supporters. Yeah. I mean, even he, with Arsenal's class, couldn't have seen that coming today, could he?
No, I think he'd be bitterly disappointed. And it's one of those performances and a result, obviously, which was, as he said, painful. He apologises and he's being very honest and open, but he hasn't got much else he could say. No. Because, you know, Spurs, particularly first half, showed a lack of how to keep the ball They didn't keep the ball for probably 1 or 2 passes, and it was handed over again to Arsenal. Credit to Arsenal, they pressed high and they pressed well, and they pressed and hungry for the ball. But Spurs had to come up with something different, slightly overturn them round a little bit, make runs in behind. Everything that they went forward and long at, it came back at them straight away. They didn't play out from the back. They never looked composed to play through the pitch. When you're going to try and play counter-acting football and counter teams, you've got to have that first pass that's made solid, that's protected, then the set-up ball, and then runners in behind. Never happened once, particularly in the first half. So very disappointing. But I think it's a sort of they've been playing a little bit similar like that at home. They found it really hard to get through teams and have options on the ball. I think that's one of the things that when a team's playing well with confidence, everyone wants the ball. At the moment, I don't see everybody really enjoying that. I want to, even if I'm marked, I'm going to receive it. I'm going to be brave. There's a lot of work to do with that Spurs team at the moment.
Were you expecting more from them today?
I was a little bit, yeah, especially going forward. I was very surprised that maybe someone like Brennan Johnson didn't start. I know it's going to be tough to get the ball to him, especially when you've got Paulinho in the midfield alongside Benson Kerr. You're trying to think, well, who's going to be that person to create? They brought Xavi Simons on, but maybe it was a bit too late. But if you're going to have someone with the pace of someone like a Brennan Johnson, you've got to be able to get the ball to him. And I thought that would have been a way. At least I thought he would have played at some stage in the game, simply because he has got that pace to stretch them. He can score goals, so I was surprised not to see him, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think that Xavi Simons coming on at half time, you go from a back 5 to a 4. So you've had that talk at half time. That's history, guys. We can't change that. We've been poor. But we're going to go with a 4. Xavi's going to come on and he's going to play a little bit more advanced, get the ball into him. Yeah. What happens? Arsenal go out and score after 30 seconds in the second half. So that all goes out the window. Yeah. And so there's pressure on Xavi Simons, who's under a bit of pressure at the moment. He hasn't settled in the Spurs shirt yet. He's got some talent, but we haven't seen anywhere near his best yet. So suddenly he's thinking, I've got a chance here. Bang, 3-0. Yeah. And now the game becomes open. Spurs have got to throw people forward. And even that didn't work for him when he did try and change things.
It's really tough for someone for him as well, Gaffer, because he's continually trying to impress now. Yeah. We saw him take some shots where you're thinking, he's trying a bit too hard, and that's just because he feels like he needs to step up. And it's going to take now, we're going to see what Tottenham players are made of, because it's going to take people to be brave, and they're going to have to want it and try and do something about it.
In some ways, he's a creative player like Eze. And what's happened to Eze has got to happen to Xavi at some stage. Eze, we're talking about this hat-trick, and he's not played poorly for Arsenal, but it's now elevated him, and he feels comfortable now in an Arsenal shirt. Something like that's got to happen for Xavi to actually feel that and then you might see the best of him. Because we do need some creation in that midfield area.
But as Wright says, you need some character now. I mean, Champions League are away at PSG in the week, but then you're back at home in the Premier League, where you say, well, they've only won once. Yeah. They've really struggled to get a hold of games and create.
They have. For whatever reason, they haven't looked the same players. Kudus has been consistent. Paulinho's been consistent, and probably Mickey van der Ven. Other than that, there hasn't been that consistency. It's been 9 out of 10 or 3 or 4 out of 10. And you're not going to get that consistent run of a team playing well and getting results on the same way, particularly at home. At home, they've found it hard. As I said, sometimes it's harder to play at home when you're a little bit anxious.
Second worst home record, like.
Yeah, exactly. And we were talking about the best away record. So it's a bit of a conundrum how that works. Is it about players having to be braver, having to go out there and play? And if the crowd do get on your back a little bit because you've given a ball away or you've made a mistake, they've got to be brave and big enough to demand it and want it again and get through those times. They're sitting mid-table at the moment. They've got to watch out. They're going to need points on the board as well.
They're sitting mid-table. Arsenal are sitting 6 clear of Chelsea, 7 clear of Manchester City, 12 played. I know we're not even a third of the way through the season, but have they ever been in a situation like this where they will have a better chance at this stage of the season of winning the title?
Not as long as I can remember. And I think they're under no illusions what it takes from this stage. So I don't think anybody at the club will be getting carried away with it. I think that the celebrations after that game were simply because we've beaten Tottenham. Like you say, we're third away season through. We've gone 12 games, and they're just pleased that they're they're doing all the right things for a team that's trying to challenge. You're taking advantage of people's mistakes. You're winning games at a canter, and and you're trying to put a buffer in between you and the teams that's coming. So you just want that to continue, and they know more than anybody else what it's like to chase a team that are winning, and you've got to be perfect. They've been in that situation, so hopefully they'll have learnt from that and they'll try to do it to whoever's coming behind them.
The omens are good because 6 points clear at this stage. There's 7 teams in Premier League history been in that situation. 6 of them have gone on to win the title.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of football to be played. If they're still 5 or 6 points and they've got that cushion, that little buffer, come end of March, April, that's when it starts.
Yeah.
And if there's other teams that have fallen away, I said earlier,
Is there a concern there might not be enough, any teams close enough to them by March, April?
That's what they're going to, they're going to get on with their job.
Yeah,
and the likes of City and Chelsea have got to be perfect to get there.
Do you think Chelsea are serious title
They've got to be They've got to be contenders. I mean, before Arsenal's game today, they were only 3 points behind them. And they're playing them at home next week. You've got to say they're in with a chance. Of course they are. But I don't see anyone else up there at the moment. I can't see Liverpool coming through the pack. Villa have had a really good run, but I think they'll peter. A lot depends, don't forget, I think, with Arsenal also, Ian, how far they go in the Champions League.
Yeah, that's another.
That could be a big decider with injuries, squads.
When you look at Liverpool last year, going out to PSG, actually, on reflection, was a huge help in the Premier League, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And again, those are the kind of conundrums that Arsenal are dealing with now, especially with hopefully those players coming back, and then you're hoping that then you're not going to get those kind of injuries again now. You want the players to come back. We see Martinelli come back, Madueke come back now. I'm sure we'll see more Gyökeres and that slowly come back, and then that will strengthen the team. And then hopefully, the people talking about having the best squad, and hopefully he'll be able to, juggle the squad to get through these games. But it's a tough one with the Champions League and trying to win the league as well.
It is. But you look at that table at the moment, the pressure is on Chelsea, City. The pressure's not on Arsenal. Everyone's saying they're under pressure now, but they've got a buffer there.
Yeah.
They're making Chelsea and City look at it and going, well, we can't slip up anywhere here. We've got to beat them when we play them. Chelsea have got them at home next week. City have got them at home. We've got to beat them whenever that is, but that might be immaterial. That might be later in the season when they might be 9 points clear by then. But at the moment, the pressure is on all the teams underneath to try and catch Arsenal. And it is an old saying, but catch us if you can. Yeah. And today's 3 points, taking them to 6, has made that cushion and lumped a load of pressure on them other clubs that are thinking, whoever you think you are that's in the chase for the league. You're saying questioning Chelsea. I'm saying they're in it because they're second and they're only 6 points behind. But they've got to be perfect. They've got to go 2 months of playing perfect football. As of City, City are capable of doing it more than Chelsea. But even City at the moment, we thought that they were playing fantastic, and then they get turned over at Newcastle. That's the sort of league it is. I don't see that actually. It's hard for me to say. It's in my throat, but I don't see Arsenal actually falling. They might get a draw somewhere. They might pick up a couple of draws from somewhere, surprise draws. Look at Sunderland last week. But they've bounced back again, and that's what they're capable of doing, and they've earned that right. I mean, straight away after that goal, they nearly conceded Tottenham again. There was a really good chance for Arsenal, and that was where you're thinking, God, dear, you've just maybe got a little morsel back in the game. If they get a second, it's game on, like we were saying. Maybe a little bit of nervousness crept, but it just didn't happen. Just didn't happen for Tottenham today. Everything they tried, really, apart from that goal, didn't work out for them.
You know, it was well, Gaff, Steve, when you watched it, after that, there was like a 5-minute period where Arsenal played, like we saw with the goal, Zubimendi. I've never seen him do that before. You know, dawdle on the ball there when he had an option. And there was a couple of occasions where they didn't pass the ball quick enough and Tottenham got close, but they couldn't take advantage of that little lapse, what Arsenal done at that stage. They couldn't take advantage of it.
No. And for Arsenal, I mean, 6 clear. We're only in November, obviously, but as you say, it's not just 6 clear, it's the form of the teams that are chasing them, isn't it, that puts them in such a strong position.
Well, this is why. This is what they've got to do. You can't afford for a City to lose yesterday and you don't take advantage of it to get the cushion, because there's going to come games where it's going to be tight. You're going to be playing after Christmas. That's when you're getting into the crux end of everything, and you may drop some points. You may lose some games, but you just got enough cushion where you can lose and then get yourself going again. Hopefully, what can happen now is that Arsenal can use these games where they're winning to bring players back so they can be strong again. So then you can, because you look at Arsenal, you say that Arsenal, if they could get themselves in a position where they have to lose 3 or 4 games, then you can start feeling comfortable. But until you get to that, you've got to continue to try and reach that and achieve that.
And now we're only almost a third of the way through the season, so it's very early. But on the back of what Wrighty's saying there, Arsenal will never have a better chance, will they, of winning this league?
No, never, because they've got the squad and the players to do it, to cover at every angle, every position. But what they've done by giving them a cushion now is they're making the likes of Chelsea, which is a big game next week, and Man City, I think they're the two that might be the ones that will be rivals for them. They're making them play perfect. They've got to win every game now. They feel as if now, to catch Arsenal, they might have a couple of draws somewhere along the line, but they've earned that cushion with a 6-point cushion. And if you're the opponents going for them, you think, well, we've got to beat them when we play them. They've got to go to City yet, and they're going to Chelsea next week. But also after that, we've got to be perfect. We've got to win every single game to actually bridge that gap. And that's going to be the tough thing. It's not just what Arsenal are going to do, it's what other clubs are going to have to do.
You know what, as well, Steve, I think that because they finished second 3 times on the spin, I think they will recognise the position they're in because they were having to chase down City and they would have to try to be, like the gaffer's saying, perfect. You can't lose, you can't drop any points, which they found very difficult to do. They couldn't do it, they couldn't see it off, and that's why City ran away with it. Liverpool done the same. So I think them being in this position, it only makes them even more determined to win these kind of games so they can get the cushion.